Can Joe get it done? Can Joe add another talented player to this defense? And you see the title, you see the thumbnail, man. We're talking about Jaire Alexander. Now, Jaire Alexander was released yesterday. It was looking like they wanted to work out the money situation or potentially trade him off, and they couldn't find any partners, and they just ended up releasing him. The Green Bay Packers let him go. Now, why is a talented player like Jaire Alexander a free agent? Why is this happening? And where can he actually go? Will he be able to be signed by the New York Giants? He's probably not, looking at the New York Giants as a top landing spot. But if I'm the Giants, I push to make a deal done with this guy. Jaire Alexander is a top cornerback in this league, and he's had some injury-riddled years, and I think that definitely coincides with, what ended up happening with this release and potentially trading him. The money that he's making, unfortunately, is just not up to par with the amount of games he's been on the field and his production tying with that. 2022 was his last great season where he had 5 interceptions, 56 combined tackles, and he was going off. Last year, he still had 2 interceptions, but he's been missing the past couple years. He's been missing games ahead of that. So Jaire Alexander, he was a CB1 for the Green Bay Packers. And once again, a top 10 DB for sure in this league. And now as a free agent, it's not even a question. I think the Giants should try to sign the guy. Will they be able to is the biggest question. For people that don't want to sign Jaire Alexander, what is the reasons? The reasons that I'm seeing is potentially because of his attitude and him not being able to stay on the field. When it comes to staying on the field, I 100% agree with it. But you got to look at the situation for what it is right now. Jaire Alexander is coming off of a season where he hasn't played. He's missed some games. So that does factor into what kind of contract he will receive. He's not going to receive a franchise-altering, a big bag at the cornerback position. Jaire Alexander is still 28 years of age. You can see the guy potentially taking a short-term deal, trying to get his legs up under him, and then from there, bolstered into the north of 30 as a DB. Jaire Alexander, if he was to be able to sign on this team, he's going to be right up there with Paulson Adebo. To have Paulson Adebo on one side and Jaire Alexander on the other would be obviously a masterclass of a defense, in my opinion, especially when you consider what everything else we did on the defense side of the ball. Jaire Alexander is not a foreign topic for me when it comes to the New York Giants. When you look at what happened last year, when there was rumblings that he wasn't going to play for the Packers last year, I was first to be on. I wasn't the first one, but my first thought was to go get Jaire Alexander. Do whatever you can to trade for him. He's a talented DB for a reason, and talented DBs don't come out all the time. It's really hard to draft one. You see what we have with Deonte Banks. It's hard to draft a DB and expect him to be great. That's why the past couple of years, if you look at what the Giants have done in the last 10 years, we've had to sign DBs that ended up playing well for us. Paulson Adebo, Adoree Jackson, James Bradbury, Janoris Jenkins, go down the list. There are some DBs that you sign that just work out, and compared to drafting one, it's really hard to draft a really good cornerback. It really is. Jaire Alexander could be that type of player for the New York Giants. And when I think about what the Giants would have to give up, once again, you still have 2 contracts that you can restructure. Hasn't happened. We've already seen Brian Burns with his restructure. Dexter Lawrence is probably up for a restructure, including Andrew Thomas. If they can find a way to get those things done to free up some money and get a guy like Jaire Alexander, sign him for around 10 mil, under 10 mil, then I would shoot for him. Once again, this is going off of the bat that Jaire Alexander won't get a big contract. And I don't think he would. Obviously, they tried to trade him. They couldn't get it done. There wasn't partners that obviously could get deals done. And it actually was reported that the Giants were sort of interested in trading for Jaire Alexander. I'm pretty sure this is before we signed Paulson Adebo, so maybe that does change the outlook a bit. Maybe they don't want to spend the money on a player like that. But overall, when you think about what he can give to this defense and the upside that he has, I would sign him. I would bring him in a heartbeat. He's a talented player, and I talked about it before free agency, before the draft. The Giants need talented players. I don't care what it is. I don't care who he is. I don't care about the attitude that he has, because overall, when you think about it and you go down the long list of history, Lawrence Taylor wasn't the best locker room guy. He wasn't the best media presence. He wasn't the best of anything like that, but he was the best player on the field. We need talented players. If he's going to go and say something crazy to a reporter, it is what it is, as long as he's playing well on the football field. That's what I care about. That's what I obviously look at when it comes to a player. And I think Jaire Alexander could be exactly that. You seen him, completely toy with the Dallas Cowboys, especially in that playoff game against Dak Prescott. We need someone like that in this division, and it needs to be with us. Now, what is the biggest worry if he doesn't sign with the Giants? Obviously, is he going to go sign with the Eagles, a team that just won the Super Bowl that could obviously spend the money on a guy like Jaire Alexander? That's a big worry. Could he go play for the Cowboys? Could he go play for the Commanders? Those are the things that I look at. Now, granted, not every team is going to be a suitor. And the biggest thing is that Jaire Alexander is going to have the chance to pick where he wants to be. Is the Giants the most enticing place? No. But I do think New York still holds up its end of the bargain. I still do think that maybe a Brian Daboll connection can kind of help in terms of selling him on what we're trying to build over here. And once again, look at our defense. We got dogs on that side of the field. Would he not want to try to join this defense? Would he not try to make this defense even better? And once again, CB2 is kind of a question mark for us. We're hoping Deonte Banks could be a good corner for CB2. But we know if Jaire Alexander is healthy and he's placed at that cornerback position, at that point, having him on one side and Paulson Debo on the other, y'all could go ahead and run with that, man. I might be selling a fool's dream, but overall, he's a free agent. And when you're a free agent, man, you could pitch him and offer him the best thing you can to sign him to the team. Is Joe Schoen interested? Is the Giants interested? There's no reports of that. I'm not going to sell you guys a false dream, but I'm letting you guys know what I would do, and that's something that I would potentially look into. Can they get it done? Joe, if you want it, go out and get it. If they were connected previously with a trade partner potentially, maybe the right deal strikes. Maybe it does. I want you guys to let me know down below, man. What are your thoughts on Jaire Alexander? Should the Giants go and sign him? Can they actually go and sign him? And am I just up here yapping? I need y'all to let me know down below in the comments, man. We got OTAs kicking off this week as well. Mandatory minicamp is also coming soon too. We don't have any holdouts. We don't have any guys that are looking for a contract. So I love to see that because right now you're seeing it with Terry McLaurin, Trey Hendrickson. At least the Giants don't have any of that type of thing going on right now. But what I will say is I'm just excited for football to continue to wrap its way around. Once again, guys, if you have anything you want to drop on this video, drop it down below in the comments, man. I will catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned for more content. Peace.